The perfect offseason for the New York Giants includes, we'll tell you that coming up in a second. I'm going to take the seat of Joe Schoen and tell you what I would do if I was the GM for this football team, and I'm excited to do so. It's been a rough couple of years. The Giants have lost 25 games in the last 2 years, and if you still bleed Giants blue and you want them to turn it around in 2025, hit that thumbs up icon right now. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping by as we're going to dive into my perfect offseason plan for the New York Football Giants. Look, I could talk all day about what the Giants need to do this offseason, but we only got about 15 minutes on today's show. So there's going to need to be more things done than just the 5 things we're going to talk about on today's show, but these may be the 5 most important things. Let's start with this. Fire Shane Bowen as a defensive coordinator for the New York Giants. The things he was supposed to be great at did not translate once he took over as the Giants defensive coordinator. He got this job because he's able to build a defense that can stop the run. Giants were one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. Because he was able to generate stops in the red zone. He did not do that. He also didn't build a defense that forced turnovers, and through the back half of the year, they didn't generate pressure on the quarterbacks. Not my cup of tea, and I would move on from him. 1, because he's not that good, and 2, this crop of defensive coordinator coaches is awesome. Rob Saleh, former head coach of the Jets, got his money because of what he did as the defensive coordinator for the new San Francisco 49ers. Lou Anarumo was the guy that interviewed to be the Giants head coach in 2022, and he's done a good job in Cincinnati. This team this year, though, was not good enough talent-wise. Dennis Allen, really good defensive coordinator, spent time with the Raiders, spent time with the Broncos, and he also spent time with the New Orleans Saints. Matt Eberflus got his name known for what he did as a DC for the Indianapolis Colts. And Patrick Graham, once a Giant, always a Giant. He did really good here, and he was one of the best defensive coordinators in the National Football League with the Las Vegas Raiders. But if I was going to hire a DC, it would be Dennis Allen. Bring him over from the New Orleans Saints. Was the Broncos DC in 2011. Did such a good job there. He became the Raiders head coach the very next season. Didn't work out in Las Vegas as the head coach there because not many people do. Then he became the Saints DC, and he was there for a long time, from 2015 to 2021. Remember those Saints teams with Drew Brees and Sean Payton that couldn't buy a stop, that couldn't keep teams out of the end zone? That was before Dennis Allen. That's why they brought him in, and they turned into a fast, physical, downhill, in-your-face, nasty defense under Dennis Allen, and he did that as well when he was the head coach there. Just could never find the quarterback position to maintain the head coaching job. One thing I love about Allen is his ability to be exotic, aggressive, and also not be figured out by the top quarterbacks in the NFL. And one of those guys is Tom Brady. When Tom Brady was a member of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he struggled every single time he took on Dennis Allen. This is someone that, against Allen, completed only 59% of his passes, threw 9 touchdowns compared to 8 interceptions, and he didn't fare too well in the wins and loss column. Overall for Allen, though, from 2017 to 2023, Allen's defenses finished in the top 10 in points allowed 5 times. The only 2 seasons his defense missed that mark, they were still ranked in the top half of the league. I also love that Dennis Allen is known for developing young defensive backs. He got a lot of credit for what he did with Marshawn Lattimore, a really talented player coming out of college, but is credited with his development. Paulson Adebo gives a lot of his development credit to Dennis Allen. He was once a defensive back coach. That's his calling card. And when you look at this Giants defense, they have a lot of young, hopefully talent-filled DBs on this squad. I would love to bring Dennis Allen in. He is my number 1 choice at this moment. And if the Giants fire Shane Bowen, which I hope they do, we're going to be breaking it down on this channel. So if you want free videos every day this offseason, multiple videos every day this offseason, hit that subscribe button and lock us in. Giants Now by Chat Sports. Step number 2, create more cap space. The Giants right now are in a good spot when it comes to entering 2020, 2025 free agency and having money to spend. They're going to enter that with about roughly $60 million in cap space. $60 million, though, is not what it once was. That ranks 13th in the National Football League right now. And there's a way where the Giants could clear up to an additional $40 million in cap space, and they really don't have to risk anything. You restructure Brian Burns' contract, save $16.1 million. Maybe a little risky to restructure Andrew Thomas's contract, but I believe he's going to be healthy, hopefully one day. Maybe I'm just hoping that. But he's a perfect restructure candidate, as well as Dexter Lawrence. You free up over $20 million between those two guys, and you got to move on from Graham Gano. You got to get a new kicker. And if you make him a post-June 1st cut, you save $4.4 million, and you can allocate that to your rookie class. You usually need about $10 million for those guys. So once you clear up another $38, $40 million in cap space, and you're pushing almost $100 million, go out and sign the best two offensive free agents in this cycle. Go out and get Trey Smith, the best offensive lineman entering free agency. Go out and get T. Higgins, the best wide receiver in NFL free agency. This Giants offense needs an infusion of elite talent. Outside of Malik Neighbors, you don't have one game changer at the wide receiver position, and you need to invest in the offensive line. You have one spot open, the right guard spot. Andrew Thomas is going to be back. John Runyon is going to be back. JMS will be back, maybe with some competition brought in via the draft or free agency. I don't think Greg Van Roten will, and you're going to have Jermaine Illuminor at the right tackle spot. So go out and get the best right guard on the market, and that's the 25-year-old Trey Smith. I know I've talked about Joe Schoen going out and overspending. You only overspend if you pay the right and wrong guys. And I think paying Trey Smith is a green check mark, and that classifies as paying one of the right guys. Someone that's proven he's a dog in this league, and he's still just 25 years old. But most importantly, he's played with the Chiefs. He's a leader, and he is someone that knows what it takes to win football games at a high clip in this league. And I want to bring some of those guys to this building because we got a lot of young pups that don't know what they're doing at this point. Throughout his career since he entered the NFL, he has been really good. He's good as a run blocker. He's good as a pass blocker. And 4 seasons, he's given up just 9 sacks. In the last 2 seasons, he's given up just 2 sacks, none this past year. And he is someone that has been extremely reliable as well when it comes to being available on game days. And I think when you talk about what the Giants are going to do this offseason, it most likely includes drafting a young quarterback. And in my opinion, the number one most important thing when building around a young QB, you want to build a friendly roster, a soft landing spot for that rookie QB. What's most important? In my mind, it's the protection in front of him. If a rookie quarterback doesn't have protection, they're going to be no good. But if you give a guy that has some talent, with hopefully a good coach in Brian Daboll, and some protection to work with and stand up clean in the pocket, I think you raise the ceiling of the production that rookie quarterback can have. Also, it'll help if you go out and get him one of the best wide receivers in the National Football League, 25-year-old T. Higgins. He's a dog, and I don't know if the Bengals are going to have money to pay him. 6'4", 219 pounds. This is someone that gets it done. Even in 12 games this year, 10 touchdowns, 911 yards, and that was behind Jamar Chase, who had one of the best receiving his seasons in recent history, being a Triple Crown winner. He just gets it done every single year. Played in 12 games this year, yes. Played in 12 games last year, yes. But 16, 14, and 16 the years before that. Prior to this year, has 2 1,000-yard seasons. He's scored more than 5 touchdowns in all of those seasons, and he is an explosive downfield threat that puts pressure on the back end of the defense. I also love that he's played in the playoffs 7 times, 7 different games. This is someone that's played under the bright lights. He's played in the Super Bowl. He's made big plays in the playoffs. In 7 playoff games, 3 touchdowns, 31 grabs, and 457 yards, and an average yards per catch of 14.7. Another explosive, dynamic, game-changing weapon to go with Malik Neighbors. Now is the time to build up the offense. Next year, Daniel Jones's money is entirely off the cap sheet. You should build this year knowing that will happen. And also, you're going to draft a rookie quarterback. And you want to build an elite roster around him and take advantage of that cheap rookie scale contract. You know you're going to have that for the next 5 years. So make it a soft landing spot for him, put talent around him, and invest in the offense right now. It's not going to be cheap, though, for T. Higgins, and it's not going to be cheap for Trey Smith. Pro Football Focus has them as the number 1 and the number 2 free agent this offseason, expecting T. Higgins to get an average of $28 million per year. Absolutely worth it. And Trey Smith getting $20.5 million per year. Other free agent wide receivers I would be looking at are guys like Chris Godwin. I almost put him in this video. I love it that he's a really, really good player, but more importantly, a leader, a captain, a Super Bowl champion, and he's been around a guy like Tom Brady, captain of the Bucs. Giants need more guys like that. Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs, Hopkins, Marquise Brown, and Keenan Allen are the other top 6 receivers. I would not bring back Darius Slayton. I would just use his money to go pay T. Higgins. Other interior offensive linemen that you could look at, Will Fries, one of the best in the National Football League. Tevin Jenkins, Kevin Zeitler. I can't believe he's still kicking. Thank you, Dave Gettleman. And James Daniel for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I would prioritize Freeze or Fries. I don't know exactly how you pronounce it. Good player, one of the highest rated on Pro Football Focus. And Daniels, both these guys still under 30 years old. Jenkins is young and good too, but he's had a lot of injuries throughout his career with the Chicago Bears coming out of Oklahoma State. We got more things to talk about that the Giants must do this offseason. But first, I got to tell you about our proud sponsor, Game Time. If you're looking for the best ticketing app out there and a place to get the best seats for the lowest price guaranteed for the NFL playoffs, it's going to be Game Time. So download the app, create an account, and use that promo code ChatSports and get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. Game Time is the app where you get the best seats for the lowest price guaranteed. Prices of events drop as you get closer. It's easy to resell your tickets if you don't want to go to the game. You get to access your tickets from your phone, so it's easy to get into the game, and it's easy to decide which ticket you want because you get to see your seat view inside the app. You also are going to be alerted from the app about last-minute tickets and flash deals and the lowest price guaranteed. I've used all the other ticketing apps out there. Game Time is now the only one I use because I love this all-in pricing feature. No hidden fees when you get to checkout, and that Game Time picks feature makes it that much more easy to go see your favorite team perform. It's more than just for sports, though. You can go to concerts, you can go to theater events, you can go to comedy clubs, and so much more. So download it, create an account, promo code ChatSports, $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. Step 4 in my perfect offseason plan. Remember, perfect. Maybe not the most realistic, but this would be an A-plus grade for me. And that's go out and sign Justin Fields. Of all the quarterbacks that I anticipate being available in free agency, I think Justin Fields has the most potential out of any of them. Still just 25 years old, just a couple years removed from being a first-round pick with the Chicago Bears. It didn't work out there because no one works out with the Chicago Bears. I thought he played good football, though, before he was benched by Mike Tomlin in favor of Russell Wilson. Some things I thought he needed to improve on, but it was a really big jump for him from 61% completion percentage to 65.8. Every year it has gone up. He's not a perfect player. No perfect quarterback becomes available in free agency. But if I'm looking for a high ceiling, uber talented, strong-armed, strong runner to put with Brian Daboll, Justin Fields fits that bill the best. He also is a dynamic weapon with his legs. Back in his second season in the National Football League, he had over 1,100 yards rushing, over 76 yards per game. This is someone that puts stress on defensive coordinators and defenses every single snap. I think you could get him for around $11 million. That's what Pro Football Focus is projecting, and that's a number I'm comfortable paying. Do I know if he's going to be a guy that you build around down the future? No. But I like taking a swing on a guy that's shown some success in this league that still has a ceiling that he hasn't even scratched, and I like putting him with a guy that I guess we're going to now consider a QB guru once again in Brian Daboll. But most importantly, you got to go out and get the franchise quarterback, and that's Cam Ward. Do whatever it takes to get Cam Ward. I'm officially sitting in that seat. I have missed QB1. I got him as the best prospect in this class at that spot, and I think he's got the highest ceiling of anybody in this draft at QB. He's been good everywhere he's played football. This is someone that I would want entering the huddle when I got to go on a game-winning drive. This is someone I want to put the shoulder pads on for. He's a leader. He's a captain. He's an alpha, and he is an absolute baller. There's a reason that he was involved in the Heisman discussions, and he went to New York City to be there for the ceremony. There's a reason that he is the favorite right now to be the number 1 pick in Las Vegas. This is someone that if he gets paired with the right coach, which I think Brian Daboll is, and you give him an offensive line, and you give him weapons, and you give him some time, he could be a franchise quarterback in this league. I think he truly has superstar potential. He's an improviser, he's a creator, and he's a game changer. He's also someone that can make the second play better than anybody in this class. What are you going to do when the first play breaks down? When there's a rusher in your face, and it's 3rd and 7 on a 2-minute drill drive to go win the game. Can you make that guy miss? Can he get out of the pocket? And can he create chunk plays? Or just get the ball to your weapons with space for them to eat up yak? I think Cam Ward does that better than anybody, and he's got a pretty damn good arm as well. Fire Shane Bowen. Create more cap space. Sign Trey Smith. Sign T. Higgins. Sign Justin Fields. And draft Cam Ward. A lot more things need to be done this offseason. But if I'm running the Giants, these are the 5 things that I really, really want to get done. Grade the plan. Grade my perfect offseason plan. A, B, C, D, or F. I want to hear from you down in the comment section. My priority this offseason is to make the offense a priority. Build the offense so you can have a rookie quarterback succeed when you take him in the draft. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram @MarshallGreen_.